the globe, a severe drought.
But he goes on to talk about, solutions just in that particular matter. And of course, this idea of, Trump, being ashamed of homelessness in America, that is a beautiful thing to me. That is a very Christian, value that we want to take care of the poor, the downtrodden. That is true godliness. And that is why I am a Trump supporter, is that alone. That he says, look, I believe in prosperity, and he realizes at this point in his life that, he was able to achieve that easily in great prosperity, okay? But that now he wants to give regular, everyday Americans a chance to feel prosperity. And this is the greatest gift that he can give any other nation, all the peoples of the world. The greatest thing he could do is set America as a shining light example for these other nations to show how we can do it. But Trump knows, he's a smart guy, and he knows what resistance he is going to face. He's already faced it. I mean, he gets death threats practically daily from what I understand. There's so much hatred for him. Satan is just beside himself, and it's very biblical. If you read your Bible in Revelations, and it talks about the anger, the fury, not justifiable fury, but nevertheless, it's frightening fury because it's irrational. I mean, it doesn't have to be rational fury. It's just, it's not warranted. It's not like righteous indignation or something. But the devil, okay, this spirit of Satan that so many people, witting and unwitting, are entrenched in. It's these hardcore communists and these hardcore crony capitalists, and they don't even know each other, right? They think they're not. I don't know. This guy's my landlord, says the communist, and but he doesn't realize that this guy is a total hardcore crony capitalist that's really been taking advantage of the vulture capitalism that has been prevailing in the land. People's houses being stolen, all these foreclosures, all this trickery, the debauchery, these derivatives in the credit industry, credit derivatives and default swaps and all this bull crap, okay, that's out there, all this nonsense. This is crony capitalism, where the government teams up with private entities, okay, to commit these heinous acts of immorality against the people. It's unethical. It's fascist. That's what crony capitalism is. So these people don't even know each other. That guy's my enemy. You're kidding me. He's a really nice guy and all this. And, I have to suck up to him because he might raise my rent or something, says the communist to the crony capitalist. So, the crony capitalist is never getting the blame that he deserves for saying, not only did I, not resist this thing that came down, I knew it was wrong. I knew it was going to cause this great wealth disparity. And California, I call the guinea pig state because this is where it all begins. And then all these people across the country, they're still in the dark and ignorant because crony capitalism has not hit in full force there, where they've got a minority of residents that are homeowners. No, that hasn't happened anywhere else in the nation that I know of. California is leading the way. Therefore, I call it the guinea pig state. So most people don't even know what's really going on. This is how they're stealing the wealth of our nation, how they're creating this great wealth disparity. And it's happening to communists, it's happening to capitalists, it's happening to socialists, it's happening to Democrats, it's happening to Republicans, it's happening to liberals, happening to conservatives. It's just happening to regular, everyday people. And it's wrong. It's immoral. It feels bad. It feels like you're sucking on a crate of lemons, okay? Not just sucking on a lemon. That's what it feels like a never-ending, a perpetual, one lemon after another. Just eat it, boy, eat it. You're gonna watch this. You're gonna witness this wealth disparity grow. You're gonna witness poverty exploding all around you. You're gonna have to witness, Obama, who says he's a socialist, he just made the problem 10 times worse with his policies, increasing the debt, increasing the welfare state, knowing that the wealth disparity is growing, just feeding the problem. That's all these people are doing. So this is, where we're at, and it is the swamp. And if Donald Trump's going to drain the swamp, it's going to be like pulling teeth, okay? Because all those crony capitalists that are now status quo, and they say, hey, look, man, I own a lot of properties now, and those rents got to stay high, otherwise I can't pay my mortgage. You understand how this thing works? And if Trump comes in there and he does something with the Fed and he demands that interest rates go up or something, you could see housing worth, diminish overnight. And that's going to be a big deal because the worth of, the cost to purchase a home and the cost you pay for rent has a direct correlation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, as a very studied guy in this area, real estate and economics, I can tell you that. Okay, that's a matter of fact. So if that's what happens, and they're going to try to blame Trump when really the Fed had to do something. They stopped being able to pull rabbits out of the hat a long time ago when they went to 0% interest rates. That's it, because the only option from there is negative interest rates, which they've tried in parts. I don't think they're getting too far with that idea, but understand that it's not a good thing. So, this is it. But if there's any radical change, it could really upset markets and, cause a lot of uproar, and so there's going to be a lot of people against it, and Trump knows that. He knows the disruption he could cause if he tries to do things too fast, to reverse the wealth disparity, not by taking from the people that have. Again, that's the communist socialist precept. No, we don't have to do that. It's just by increasing the worth of your currency, by making it sound, demanding that it be sound. It's just progress. It's just what's supposed to happen naturally under free market, supply and demand capitalism. That's what happens naturally. Okay, it's not forced at all. So it's a very pure thing. It's a very organic thing that happens. How this is this rising tide of prosperity across the board. What JF tried to give the people, and of course you see what that got him. And this is the threat with Donald Trump. But at this point in history, if they try that with Trump, I mean, we will probably see a civil war. I mean, it's going to get ugly, folks. I guarantee it. That if these people blame the commies, okay, who are out there chanting, kill the pigs, some of these people are insane. We're having more cops being ambushed and murdered. I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach. I'm not surprised they're as trigger happy as they are. I'm really not. I mean, wouldn't you be a little psycho if you were a cop and out there knowing that you never know who's going to walk up on you in your patrol car and shoot you in the head? I mean, how would you feel about it? And even recently, I posted this video. This cop had shot this guy he was in an accident. His girlfriend was killed in the accident. But this guy was getting out of his car, and the cop had his gun on him in case the guy got out of the car with a weapon aimed at him. And his gun fired. And it appeared in the video that, the cop did it deliberately. But if you hear his story, it does sound plausible, okay? And, recently we had a jury here in the Butte County area that convicted him of involuntary manslaughter. And I'm not going to try to second-guess the jury, but really, in my opinion, if you had to ask me after hearing the whole story, I actually believe the guy. I think that it was an accident. And maybe even an accident, that acute, it is deserving of involuntary manslaughter. I can't say. All I know is we've got a mess, folks, okay? And we don't need a civil war in this country, because this will be giving the beast what the beast wants. And that's it. Trump's going after the heart of the beast by going after poverty, by going after homelessness. He's going after the heart of the beast. And, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And if you don't think the beast is going to do all it can to, survive, then, forget it, because it is going to do all it can to survive. That's it. It wants to live. It doesn't want to die. And, that's the way it is. So what will it do? It'll lash out. So it could get pretty ugly if Trump is assassinated, and, it could happen. I don't know. I think we're really at the end of the age, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I tell you what, I feel it's very uncertain. I'm sorry if I'm exuding insecurity out there, but that's the state of affairs. I mean, we should all be exhilarated in the knowledge of our mortality. This could be our last day on earth for any of us. We just don't know. So we've got to live every day like it was our last. So to say that it's foreboding and ominous and, who knows what the future portends for us. Hey, you know what? One day at a time. That's all any of us can do. It's tough enough just to get through this one day. We've all got stuff we got to do. We've got lists of stuff we got to go, get. We got to run errands. We got, we all got personal issues that we got to contend with. So we can't get our minds too wrapped up in this thing to where, we spin out of control, and become overwhelmed. But we do have to take the bull by the horns and understand the serious nature of the times we're living in and what it's going to take to extricate ourselves from this mess. First, we got to face it. Doesn't mean by facing it and fighting it we're going to succeed. But it's the best we can do under the circumstances. Fight the good fight and be part of history. And say, I'm on the side of humanity. I just want righteousness to prevail. And if you're a good communist, great. If you're a good capitalist, great. Whatever, we're on the same page. We believe in equality, the Constitution. We believe in being good Americans. But we need to be peacemakers above all else and help, to understand another person's point of view, where they're coming from, okay? And understand if they're real, they're real, okay? Give them that credit. Give them that respect. Give them their due in that regard, and that will be a big step to us being able to come out of the darkness into light, to come out of Babylon and into understanding, into the light. A last note here, Paul Joseph Watson, a guy I sure as heck don't want to have a battle of wits with, came down really hard on this Jill Stein for this recount effort, being very suspect in the way she's holding it. And maybe he's right, I don't know. But, like I said, we should all try to treat each other with, the respect that we ourselves would appreciate, as much as possible. Just try to be that peacemaker. And, maybe you are smarter than everybody else, but it's no reason, to sound too condemning, let's say, because we're all judgmental. But, like I said,